Today on the Point Blank Performance YouTube channel, we've got our D4 HP package about wrapped up on this 2018 L5P Duramax with compound turbos on it. Last week we were taunting a 21 Dodge Cummins to get back on the Mustang Dyno and to see if that truck can put down some big numbers. Well, if you hadn't seen that video, check out the link here. Jeremy's truck stays at 750 river horsepower and 1,400 feet-pound of torque. Very respectable numbers. But this truck's got an 8872 compound setup, pretty much the same injector, 100 overs, a 12 mil pump. His has a 10 mil. So we're going to get to see in today's video, can this truck put down more power? But before we do that, we're going underneath the truck. Last time you saw this truck, we had the oil pan off. Why? Because we had to put a new drain from the big 88 millimeter turbocharger all the way down to the oil pan. Guess what? We got that done. We're going to show you that installation to help you guys out. Plus, we're going to take you back to the fast fuel system, show you a few tips and tricks that we do here in the shop that are not in your installation manual. Starting at the top, you can check out we got our dash 10 oil drain line. We ran that beside the exhaust manifold, making for sure we dodged the actual exhaust, and we jumped it around the transmission lines. Now we're at the point that we had to drill into the oil pan and weld up a dash 10 bung. You can check it out here. It's at the highest possible point. Why? Because all that oil draining from the turbocharger needs to free flow into the oil pan. Your factory oil pan, we took it off. We don't reuse it. Why? Because it's cheap, it's flimsy, it'll warp on you and won't seal up. We did go with the PPE. This is an awesome unit. It's cast aluminum and it holds about 2 more quarts than your factory oil pan. So that wraps up the oil drain on the big turbocharger. Now let's jump to the back of the truck and check out our fast fuel system. We've got our Pac-Man fuel sump drilled and placed at the front of our fuel tank. This is where we changed up a few things. Underneath it, it says feed, right? Yes. We're going to feed fuel all the way up to our T-port on the fast fuel system. Well, what do you do with the factory fuel pump that's located inside of your tank? Inside of there, they want you to go in and change up a few things. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is actually pull fuel from the factory line and route it into the fast, right? This will allow me to prime up the truck a little bit faster if I just done a fuel filter change. Number 2 is this. If the fast blows a fuse or a relay goes down, which it very possibly can, and guess what? I won't leave my customer on the side of the road. I can get him where he needs to go. I can walk him through the wiring, and hey, he's back up and running. I know what you're thinking. Well, you just took pressure from there and you added it to your fast, so it's going to go up through the roof. No, if you look at your pressure actually on your parameters, it stays around 65 to 70. I just have a shitload of fuel that's available from the factory fuel pump, and we can get it from our sump. So it's a win-win situation. Guys, you don't have to take my word for it. You can do the install exactly how they say. Drop the tank, rip out all those guts, you're good to go. I try to look at it in another way. Now, enough talk about fuel. Can this keep up with the 21 Dodge Cummins with the 8872 compounds, the same setup we got here? There's only one way to find out. It's dyno time. So guys, we just finished up on the first run on the L5P Duramax with the Compound Series turbochargers on it. Now keep in mind, we're battling this truck against Jeremy's 21 Dodge Cummins with the exact same setup, the 88/72. His truck put up some impressive numbers. 750 rear-wheel horsepower and 1,400 feet-pound of torque. Now let's get into the L5P. Let's take a look at that graph. 717 rear-wheel horsepower, 1,254 feet-pound of torque. It's not putting up a fight. It's not wearing that badge of that Cummins killer. But here's why. If you're a fan of the channel, then you know this. Anytime we go into making bigger power, we want to start at the bottom. We want to start at the base file. That's exactly what you guys got to see on that first dyno pull. That's right. Guys, we've got the first file, we've got the second level, we've got the third level, we've got the fourth level, and guess what? We've got plan B, the fifth level. That's right. So I think we're gonna have a big upset, but we don't know. Hopefully I'm not upset, because keep in mind, I'm a Cummins owner. I've got a 22 and I've got a 12. I really don't want to put them up for sale, but today may be the day. I've got an L5D. Hell, we may be compounding the L5D. Guys, I've reported back to Caden. He said, turn this bitch loose. So guys, this truck still starts up. Let's go to the table. Let's talk about what took place over 3,000 RPMs. So we're getting to the oil underneath the truck, but first let's talk about our RPM window that we just ran Caden's truck. Right here, I'm at 2,300 RPMs. The load comes in, and we're supposed to finish our run all the way over here at our 3,500, but we didn't end up finishing that run. So right here, we're coming up on 2,750. We're making about 530 horse, 550. This truck, where did it make its peak horsepower and torque? At 3,100 RPMs, we ended up making 897 rear-wheel horsepower and 1,552 feet-pound of torque. This thing's a monster, but it should have been an even bigger monster. It should have carried it all the way over here. But as you've seen, the smoke starts coming underneath the hood. I've got somebody waving me down. There's some oil underneath the truck. So we got to let out of the truck. We had to end it early because we didn't carry our power all the way over like how we should have. So one of the two things happened. One, I either blew up a charger. Number two, I blew up the truck. Now, how does that happen? Because there's oil underneath the truck, but I don't see any parts. Well, happens like this. Say I heard a piston in the truck. That means all that boost pressure is pushing down on the piston. All the oil in the oil pan, it's got to come out somewhere because now it's pressurized. What does it come out? It comes out that road draft too. It's the reason why you've seen that oil just shitting out. The same thing can happen when a turbocharger fails as well. However it works inside of a turbocharger, that boost pressure goes in there, it fills up the oil drain with all the boost pressure, and it says, boom, I gotta come out somewhere, and there it goes. And that's what you guys seen. So with any high performance diesel build, as you guys saw today, creeping up closer to that 1,000 horsepower mark, shit can go south. And when it does, I prefer it to go south here. That way I can update you, the customer, and number two, you guys can evaluate, hey, do I really want to build something with big high horsepower, or do I want to dial that back a little bit? Because today's run was super impressive. I've still got the giggles about it, right? So guys, we could have hit all that information from you. We could have just said, hey, the truck made 900 horsepower. We went on our day, but no, we want to be transparent. That way you can see what exactly takes place when you put investment inside the engine. Now guys, this is where you're going to want to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because the battle, I don't believe it's over between the L5P Duramax and the 5th Gen Dodge Cummins. Jeremy's truck still got to get a transmission in that truck, and we're going to put it back on the rollers, so that way we can spin it over here to that 3,500 RPM mark and see what kind of power that truck can make. Should be pretty impressive. Caden's truck, we're going to get it off the rollers, we're going to drive it over to the repair shop, get the covers off the chargers, send them out, see if I hurt a charger or if I ultimately hurt the engine. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll keep you updated on Caden's build. See you next week at Point Blank Performance.